What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I want to talk about a lesser known mechanic in Black Ops 3 that is a little bit frustrating to hear about, but I just want to make sure all of you guys get the information about this so you guys understand why certain guns behave in certain ways. And this mechanic we're going to be looking at is called ADS Spread. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so ADS Spread, or Aim Down Sight Spread, means that certain guns literally do not fire the shot where you're aiming. They fire a little to the left, or a little to the right, or a little above, or a little below. There's a certain random area when you're aiming down sight that bullet can go in when you pull that trigger, and no attachments impact this stat at all. So even with a foregrip, you're not going to be changing this. So none of the assault rifles are affected by this. That's the testing you're seeing in the background. It's me shooting walls, and as you can see, every time I pull the trigger, that bullet is going exactly where it should be going. It's going right where I'm aimed. Now when I switch to SMGs on the other hand, this is where you start to see that ADS spread taking place. The bullets don't necessarily go exactly where I'm aiming, and there's actually a little bit of a recoil pattern here, even though I'm letting it recenter to the same point, and I'm taking my time and I'm pulling the trigger on the same point every single time. This is what ADS spread is, and it impacts all of the SMGs, the Dingo, and then obviously the shotguns as well. They have an ADS spread, but that's because that's their pellet spread when you're aiming down sight. The Argus does not have ADS spread though. I just wanted to point that out. That's why you get that really tight grouping of your pellets that behaves essentially like a slug. That's because it has zero aim down sight spread for the Argus. Also, all of the pistols have a little bit of aim down sight spread. It's a little bit harder to show because you don't have the recon sight. The recon sight's the best sight to really show this off because it has almost no idle sway. It almost eliminates idle sway. Whereas with the other ones, you do have some of that idle sway that you can see, and therefore it looks a little bit off. But if you look at the hard stats from Marvel 4 taken from the in-game code, all of the pistols also have this aim down sight spread. Now, why did I want to share this information with you? Well, first off, I've seen a lot of people concerned about hit detection issues, and they'll post a clip and you'll notice like they're just on the edge of their target, but they should be hitting their target, and they don't. And they're blaming the hit detection when really this isn't the hit detection that's at fault. It's this aim down sight spread. The bullet is actually not going where you're aiming, and therefore it could be going just off target even though you're aimed just on target. Also, this applies for headshots. If you're specifically going for headshots with an SMG or the Dingo, or the pistols for instance, and you really line up that shot, say you're in hardcore so you know it's going to be a one-shot headshot, you really line it up perfectly, you fire the shot, and it either completely misses, or it doesn't count as a headshot because the aim down sight spread pulls it down, and you hit him in the neck or something like that. This mechanic really explains a lot of those issues. Now, sometimes it is just lag or hit detection issues, but I just wanted you guys to be aware of this mechanic that's in the game, and just realize that with SMGs and with the Dingo and the secondaries, when you're aiming down sight, your bullet may not be going exactly where it should be going. Now, I do want to give credit to a Reddit post. This is what initially got me onto this idea, but then I was doing my own research and everything with the Marvel 4 stat chart as well as my own wall tests. I will link that down below. The guy that posted that, he deleted his video though. I'm not too sure why. But I will link that there because credit where credit's due. That's where I got the idea from. Also, down below, I will link Marvel 4's stat chart if you want to go and see these values for yourself. They're just listed under the ADS column. So overall, why do they do this ADS spread? I don't know. I mean, it is to kind of balance those guns out. They don't want the SMGs to be super accurate. I do understand that aspect. But instead of having a random ADS spread where a bullet goes where you're not aiming, I don't see why they don't just increase the idle sway a little bit or something like that. The idle sway, if you guys don't know, is when you're aiming down sight and the gun just slowly moves around. You'll notice it never actually stays perfectly on target unless you're using something like a recon sight, which reduces your idle sway. So personally, I don't really agree with having ADS spread. I feel that if you are on target with your gun, that is exactly where the bullet should go. They can make it more difficult to get on target. Like I said, they can have that increased idle sway, or they can just increase recoil. So your first shot will be on target, but everything after that will be kicked off target because of recoil. I really don't see a need to have this ADS spread, and it is a little bit frustrating to see in the game because it does add a certain element of randomness. So I'd like to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea to have aim down sight spread? I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys next time.